of babies, bathwater, and AI. A lot of people are saying a lot of things about AI to me and in general. Here I make a bit of an effort to distinguish the baby from the bathwater. There's a lot going on in the world, some of which I write quite a bit about, including in the form of lots of songs. One of the things going on in the world that occupies my attention regularly, aside from the actual events happening that I'm writing about, is the method of communication I'm using much of the time in recent months to write about those events. AI-driven music generation platforms. This is not the best time in history to engage in nuanced discussion of pretty much anything. It's an age where people with strong opinions put them out there in order to make money on creating viral rage bait. An age where it's easier than ever to leave a snarky comment most anywhere you want to without having to bother with Herculean and arcane maneuvers like stuffing an envelope and putting a stamp on it. But it is clear that there are a lot of people thinking about what to think and how to feel about AI. I'm much more distracted with the possibility of World War III starting any minute now, but according to a lot of comments I get on the various platforms, while lots of people are enjoying my recent Aitsuno albums, people also express various concerns about AI in general and using it to make music. In support of the idea of nuanced thought, I thought I'd try to contribute to this discussion by looking at the various critiques of the technology that people often talk about, with some examination of each one. I'll explore the following common themes, which we could divide up between AI slop, energy/water use, jobs, the Wall-E effect, theft, big tech is bad, the future of humanity. You're making AI slop. Why are you doing this? I've noticed that the people telling me I'm making AI slop are not actually the ones listening to the songs. They are referring to it as AI slop in principle because AI is involved with the creation process. The reason pretty much no one calls it slop who actually listens to it, not to AI-assisted music in general, but specifically to the music I have made with Aitsuno, is because it's clearly not slop. It's great music, with catchy hooks and melodies, inventive use of different sorts of styles, instruments, and cross-pollinations between various styles and instruments, and the production values are amazing. That is, the clarity of the sound, how good it all sounds through big speakers or small ones, and things like that. In short, I'm doing it because it's not slop, it's real music, and really good music. The reason it's really good has a whole lot to do with my input. It's a very collaborative process. There's lots of stuff we can certainly call AI slop out there, being produced by all kinds of people who aren't yet very good at what they're trying to do. You'll find exactly the same phenomenon among the realm of human musicians. A lot of them are not very good. AI requires all these data centers and they use a lot of energy and water. This is true. Also, if you drive a car, you burn gas. I have rarely, if ever, had someone tell me I should stop doing concert tours because of that. When we're talking about energy use, this only makes sense if we're comparing it to something. The amount of savings in unnecessary use of energy and creation of pollution represented by the transition to digital streaming would probably be hard to overstate. The amount of plastic involved with the production of all those vinyl records and CDs and plastic packaging they usually came with, along with shrink wrap, is staggering. The amount of energy involved with doing a run of 1,000 CDs is thousands of times greater than the amount of energy involved with creating an album's worth of songs on Suno and distributing the album on music streaming platforms. If you're recording an album in a music studio with a bunch of musicians and you factor in the carbon footprint involved with them getting from their homes to the studio and back every day for a couple of weeks, once again, the energy and water use involved makes using AI music generation platforms look very ecological. The argument is probably one of the more bizarre ones I regularly encounter, because of the lack of the compared to what element in it. Working with my AI band, putting in hours on a typical day for the past 6 months or so, I've produced more songs in top quality recorded form than would otherwise be possible by any other means that I know of. I'm not creating mindless content here, but real art. If I burned a few gallons of gas in order to do that, I'm sorry they don't run their data centers on solar and wind like they all should and could, but I don't control that, unfortunately. AI is going to take away everyone's jobs. I think this is very true and very disastrous in so many ways. It's also very true in the realm of music. Who is going to hire a chorus to record harmonies in the studio anymore, or anything else like that? It's all going to become less and less common, and this is a very sad thing. It's also going to happen regardless of whether some of us boycott new technologies that are not going anywhere. We can dream about the days before automation of all kinds, but it's overwhelmingly obvious to a lot of people that this genie is not going back into the bottle any more than technologies like the internet, TV, radio, or the printing press is going to go away. People using AI to do various things are not the ones deciding that this is now how the world is operating. Because we use this technology, we are not therefore then equally responsible for the job losses that will result. To think this way is to have no understanding of how society under the rule of the billionaires, society under capitalism, actually works. Capitalism needs to change, but it won't change depending on our lifestyle choices, like whether we use AI platforms, drive cars, or eat meat. The changes required are structural in nature. If we use AI like this, we'll all forget how to play instruments and become like the people in WALL-E. I think this is exactly what is going to happen to a lot of people. Learning to play an instrument in the age of AI music generation will probably become more and more of an unusual thing to do. I hope to avoid that happening to me. I'm sad that it will probably happen to a lot of people, though, and sad that there will probably be fewer and fewer people making music with each other, just as there are already fewer and fewer people talking with each other who aren't otherwise occupied with online activities or getting therapy from their AI companions. There are so many downsides to this and other technologies, but some of us not using them won't make them go away. All of these AI platforms were trained on pirated material for which the authors or composers or performers have not been consulted or compensated. This is very true. All of us content creators from throughout history have been robbed by big tech, and now we have these amazing tools to use for which no one receives credit but the thieving corporations that trawled the internet for everything in it. Like many other people, I hope humanity persists long enough for us to arrive at some way for everyone to at least be able to live comfortable lives, even though most of our jobs will have been replaced by AI that was created based on what they call piracy of intellectual property. But until then, and after then, this technology now exists. The platforms that are ethically trained are amazing too. The genie is out of the bottle. No matter how these platforms are going to be run, there's no way they're going to compensate for the loss of the music industry jobs involved with Suno being able to do the things it can do. Society has to find solutions to these very deep society-wide problems in terms of how to adapt to the new world of AI. Those of us trying to avoid AI technology will in a few years be as anachronistic as the folks who didn't own a television by 1970 or so. They were happier overall, I'm sure, more productive than many of their TV-owning neighbors, and probably less brainwashed. But their choice not to own a TV did not change society any more than those of us avoiding AI today are changing society. These big tech corporations are so unbelievably rich and out to rule the world. It's so true and so alarming. But it is already and will become increasingly the case that avoiding AI technology is akin to trying to be a bicycle enthusiast in a country with no bike lanes and lots of highways, sports utility vehicles, and sprawling suburbs. Some people will manage to do everything on a bicycle under such circumstances, but very, very few. This is, again, a systemic problem. Like other massively impactful technologies, AI is a double-edged sword. It can do many amazing things, including making music, but also lots of other destructive things which we've all heard lots of news stories about. Other technologies that transformed society and were largely very destructive to it also had uses that were impossible to avoid trying to engage with. For example, if everyone is going to have a TV anyway, then those of us trying to communicate about important issues want to use that medium to reach people. Same with radio, the internet, the printing press, etc. When artificial general intelligence arrived, maybe AI will destroy humanity. A lot of very smart people think this is the case, or they give it a 10% chance of happening. That's very alarming to me, as it is for many others. I wish I could make it all go away and make all the corporations pouring trillions into developing this technology disappear. But what I do as an individual with the technology will do very little to influence its development either way. We can use it or not use it, but AGI is either coming or it's not, and it'll destroy humanity or it won't. I hope people who care can find a way to have agency in this whole question. But we won't do that by making individual lifestyle choices about trying to avoid the use of chatbots, any more than we will prevent the clear-cutting of the Amazon by becoming vegans. This kind of thinking was delivered to us by the capitalists themselves, because they know very well that that's not actually how the world works under capitalism. For the podcast version of this essay, I'll close with some songs I wrote with Aitsuno on the very subject this essay is about, AI. I hope you enjoy them.
As the time progresses, as the months go by, at some point you realize you can't tell, you try. Whether you are talking to a person or not, the question of the age, are you a human or a bot? Sometimes it's two humans, sometimes neither one. It could be a combination when all is said and done. Whether you are talking to a person or not, the question of the age, are you a human or a bot? Getting blurry, all that I can vouch. If your man's a person, when you pinch them they'll say ouch. Whether you are talking to a person or not, the question of the age, are you a human or a bot? They used to say that analog would always be better. They used to say that email could not replace the letter. They used to say it was superior if it was acoustic, and it never sounded like that if it was electric. People used to say all kinds of things before, but they don't talk like that so much anymore. They used to say CGI looked so unreal, it could never communicate what actual people feel. They used to talk about the human touch, identifiable somehow as such. People used to say all kinds of things before, but they don't talk like that so much anymore. They used to say they knew when they were chatting with a bot, until one day they did not. Yes, they used to say that there really was no question. What's sung by a woman, what's AI generation? People used to say all kinds all racing toward the goal, do or die, waiting for AGI. The companies are all pouring money in. The one who gets there first is the one who's gonna win. All we know for sure is they're all gonna try, waiting for AGI. One thing that never seems quite clear, will it improve things around here, or it takes over and we all die? We'll find out, waiting for AGI, waiting for AGI. One thing that never seems quite clear, will it improve things around here, or it takes over and we all die? We'll find out, waiting for AGI, waiting for AGI. Long after we no longer need researchers in science or in academia, once there are no more lawyers or doctors anywhere in the Americas, once there are no more programmers and the future's like we feared, after all the other jobs have gone away, we'll still have prompt engineers. Once all the composers have retired along with the arrangers and directors, there will be no need for them to be hired anywhere in this whole sector. Once the studios have all closed in Nashville along with all the ones around here, once the lights are all out in Beverly Hills, we'll still have prompt engineers. After nobody knows how to play a banjo, no one can say what that fifth string's for. No one recalls how it was long ago, or of the bands who used to tour. In the future we'll still have to tell the AI what it was that disappeared. Someone who knows when to ask why, thanks to the prompt engineer. There once were ghostwriters anonymously who didn't want to be in the open eponymously. They'd write about things that we all expect to be kept behind the curtain, rated X. But now the ghost voices I doubt you'll deny are as real as you or I. Who knows who we might be, who anyone is? The web these days is just full of disguises. You can be me and I can be you, and we can set our voices to music too. Is it real or fake? However you try, it's as real as you or I. then we can make little mistakes as well. I guess we've all got new neighbors, like it or not. Do you think you know the human from the bot? Is it true